Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Poke Trainer Tyson here, and I just wanted to take a minute and talk to y'all about Phantasmal Flames. Before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let's go ahead and hop in. So, essentially, I had a thought today about Phantasmal Flames and the prospect of it being a good long-term investment. And the thought was, how have the other Charizard focus sets performed? For folks that might be new, every generation Pokemon since Sun and Moon, I think, has had a Charizard set. I think it's even before then. I think like Flash Fire before then. But we're only gonna go back to Burning Shadows today. But I want to look at what Phantasmal Flames is doing pre-release and what the other sets are doing, X amount of years after being released, and talk about, is this the best place to park your money? Are there maybe some better places? Take into consideration that we've had two booms since some of these sets comes out, but we just had a really big boom and now we're on the downturn, and how that has affected the prices. But first, I want to take a look at Phantasmal Flames. So the booster box is pre-ordering about $300, down from 340 at the highest. My opinion, absolutely not. Right, not for a brand new set. Not while we're in this downturn. Not when you know that this is the first wave, because this is going to be like Mega Evolution, but there's going to be another wave that comes out later, right? I don't think that this is the time to really be going hard into Phantasmal Flames. That's just me. And we'll go back and look at some of these other sets kind of for reasons why. The one exception to this is the Pokemon Center ETB. If you were able to get Pokemon Center ETBs, or if they do another wave of them and you're able to get one, always grab them as soon as possible. History has shown, especially through the late Scarlet Violet and the Mega Evolution times, that the Pokemon Center ETB, that's a win every time. But let's throw it all the way back. Let's start at Burning Shadows. Burning Shadows came out in 2017, so this set's almost a decade old. And set is a great example of the one problem that I see with Charizard sets, is that generally there is just a Charizard in the set. So taking a look at the booster box, $1,200 for a booster box. It makes sense. The set's almost a decade old. There is a Charizard in it. There's not a Charizard on the box or in the pack like some of these other sets that we're going to look at. But for that old of a box in Sun and Moon, does make sense. Let's see. You can see how the boom affected it a year ago. This was a $400 box. Now it's a $1,200 box, right? So that's clearly a product of the boom. This almost straight up situation is not normal. Generally, you get more of a gradual rise over a longer time. But it depends, because some sets in Pokemon, if they're popular enough or if they're hype enough, when they go out of print, they have a little boom. And then a few years after, they have another boom when people essentially remember that they exist. So maybe that happened to Burning Shadows. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't believe that every set with a Charizard in is going to perform this way. The ETBs used to be a different situation. There was no such thing as a Pokemon Center ETB until I believe the middle of Sword and Shield. So 250 a booster, an ETB does make sense. The issue is, as an investor, the end goal is to make some money. You're going to have to sell it. I don't know that this set is going to really entice anybody to buy, right? Some of these old Charizard sets, nobody is going on Nostalgianomic stream or these Pack Ripper streams and saying, hey, can you stock some Burning Shadows, right? And I think part of the reason why is because if you look at the cards in the set, the most expensive card, market price $500 for the Shiny Charizard EX. And then the next best thing is a Rainbow Energy, or a Fairy Energy. And this set does have some hitters. It does have the Full Art Guzma, Full Art Acerola, but overall, there's kind of nothing really in here. If for collectors who want like the big hitter stuff, it's just the Charizard, and we all know the chances of pulling this is low. So before they buy in at that high pack price, let's see, if you're charging $1,200 a box, what's the pack price there? If you're just going to charge market, which they're probably going to charge over market because they probably had to buy the box at market. So before you pay $33 a pack, which is the same pack price, I believe, as Evolving Skies that I've been seeing on some streamers' pages, before you do that, I will just buy the Charizard, right, if you really want it. and that's how a lot of people are thinking and getting down. Um, Moving to a set that is worse than this set, and I think part of it is because this is a special set. This is a set with no booster box. This is a set that literally only has the Charizard in it. You'll see in a second. Is Champion's Path. Champion's Path ETBs were subject to Pokemon super printing. This came out in 2020, so around the Logan Paul time when the first big boom happened. And if we look at the year chart a year ago, these were sub $100 boxes. That shows how much Pokemon printed the crap out of them, because this is November 2024. The set is out of print, it's out of rotation, and still it's a sub $100 ETB for a special set where the ETB is the premier product. This is before you had booster bundles. And as a subject, it has appreciated 60% in this current boom. So now if you bought your ETBs for 50, 60 bucks back when they first came out, you've just started to see some returns, some serious returns 5 years later, which is in general more normal. But if we go and look at the cards in the set, you got the two Charizards, the two cool shiny Charizards, and then the next set is the next most expensive card is a $15 Gardevoir. 100% of the value in this set is coming from these two cards. And we all know that when that is the case, people just buy the cards. You might catch some collectors because it is a Charizard on the front of this box. There is that Charizard tax and Charizard premium to where you can say, collector, hey, you want to display this? It looks cool. You got that big Dynamax Charizard on the front. But outside of that, I don't see any value in Champion's Path holding it sealed, really, unless you are the collector and you just want to hold it. If you were able to get in cheap, then sure. But if you're looking at buying and thinking that you're going to hold this long term, the answer is no. And that's part of the issue with Phantasmal Flames. Right now, the way that it is, you can't really get in cheap. There is a point where if you get in cheap enough, it's fine, right? Especially if you're one of those investors that wants to have a little bit of inventory and everything, so that you never miss out on anything. But if you want to be one of those people who are more pointed in what you have in your investment portfolio, I think it may be smart to avoid Charizard sets overall, because I think they're going to be less liquid, and I think they're going to appreciate slower, because normally Charizard's the only hit. A more recent example, 2023, we got Obsidian Flames. Almost 100% of this value has come out of the boom. You could buy Obsidian Flames boxes for $90 a box. I was doing it. Same deal. We've appreciated a lot over the course of this last year. You see this explosion that happened. You'd be up 144% if you were buying back here when they were 124. If you were buying when they were 90, a little bit before that. This set is the first set we're talking about that does have a Pokemon Center ETB. These are fine. If you were able to get them, congratulations, at a decent price. This ETB is only expensive because of this boom. I bet you it has a very similar chart. Yep, up 305%. You could have got this for $40 back in the day, about a year ago, right? So if you were buying those, especially some people, this ETB was part of the Target like coupon thing that happened back last year, where some people were getting these for like $15. Some people getting these for like $30. They're up a bajillion%, right? But if we go look at the set, a reason why a lot of people won't want to rip this, the rip and shippers won't be trying to stock this, is because the only card in here that matters from a value perspective is an $80 Charizard. This is a special promo that you can't pull from packs, so I'm not going to count it. And art rares are way too frequent in a set, in my opinion, for me to count them as like the chase cards. So we're looking at the SIRs. The next most expensive SIR is a $14 market price Pidgeot EX, right? This is kind of a nothing burger of a set. We know that. You would have done much better investing in, or taking your money and putting it somewhere else, like holding until we got to something like Destined Rivals. Of course, you couldn't have known that at the time, but if you had looked at the card, the sets in the card, or the cards in the set, excuse me, and said this set doesn't seem really strong, then you could have held your money until you saw a set that was strong and deployed it there. And I think we're about to go through a similar thing with Phantasmal Flames. Phantasmal Flames, the only card in this set that is worth any money is these Charizards. You get the gold Charizard and you get the SIR Charizard. That's kind of it. Nobody's hyped about anything else. They did this at dirty by not putting a Gengar in it. There's no SIR Gengar. And these, taking into account, these are pre-release prices. These ones over here, the super cool ones that are going to be in Mega Dream, do not come out in this set. They come out in a SPC that people should not be opening yet. But yet sold listings 1,400 raw, 1,350 raw. I know the SIR, like on the first day of pre-release, went for 2,100, but that was kind of the only one. Everything else has gone sub that. You got gold one for 800, gold one for 900. The gold one's taking pretty fast. Gold one for 1,100. You get the SIR for 16, SIR for 1,750, SIR for 16. Here's the 2,100 one that sold on the first day. So I say all this to say, right now these are selling because they're people trying to be the first to market with graded ones, trying to get 10s. Actually, no. I knew a guy. I watched a guy pull one and list it on eBay, and I thought this was his, but it's not. So I think that these cards that when the set comes out, and especially when we get wave 2, I'm calling maybe 300 to 400 for the gold, and I'm calling like 200 to 300 for the SIR. And reason being, the set only has 90 cards or 90 some cards in it before secret rare, so it's very small. If people are ripping packs, I feel like it's going to be easy to pull. Both of these have proven to be way easier to pull than the gold Lucario and Guardy and the SIR Lucario and Guardy from Mega Evolution, which I don't think bode well for the long-term value of this set. I think the cards are going to be super frequent, and I feel like we're going to end up in the same situation as Obsidian Flames, the same situation as Burning Shadows, where you might be able to make some money because Charizard tax, because it's on the front, and a collector might want to display it, but you're not going to be able to move these packs as efficiently because nobody wants to open them, right? Nobody's going to be, in my opinion, nobody's going to be looking in even 2 years, right? Nobody's going to be looking in 5 years and saying, hey, I really want, my favorite rip and shipper to stock some Phantasmal Flames, or, a card vendor is not going to pay you as much as you want for this because it's not that popular of a set. It's the same thing as, do you have from Sword and Shield, did you have a lot of money in like Rebel Clash or Fusion Strike, or having money as far as Scarlet and Violet goes? You could have put a lot of money into Destined Rivals, but you put a lot of money into Stellar Crown, right? I think it's the same thing. I don't think that this set is going to be better than what's coming in the mega set, and especially what may be coming down the line with Gen 10 potentially coming in 2026. So my opinion, if you're a person who invests in a little bit of everything, Phantasmal Flames, fine, pretty good pickup. If you're somebody that wants to be more targeted with your investments, I don't think this is the one. I think you hold and you wait till you get a stronger set. Maybe Mega Dream will be it, because you'll have that new, I think it's called like Mega Brave rarity or something. I forget what it's called. Mega Attack rarity. You got those, and people might be crazy for those. But who knows? So I think you just sit on some of this cash and wait till you can deploy it in a better set. But that's just my opinion. Trying out some new stuff. Let me know what y'all think about this camera angle. I had it above me looking down. Now I've got it kind of eye level a little bit looking up, so it may be weird. You also can't really see my face. You just get the mic. Let me know what y'all think about it. I'm trying to also fix some audio issues that I was finding I was having. So I appreciate y'all sticking around through that if you're actually watching the videos. But let me know if the audio is better in this video. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It's been your boy, TCG Tyson, Poke Trainer Tyson. I'll talk to y'all a bit later. Peace.